Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning, happy Monday. Hopefully you guys all had a great weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. It's about 6:15 right now, so we got about 15 minutes till market open. I'll try to go over the new indicator that I've been working on. It's pretty cool. I'll show you guys how it works. You guys already have a gist of like how it works because I've been using it, but manually for the past couple of weeks now with our breakout entry and with a couple other entries. So you guys will see exactly how it works. But let me just finish setting this up and we should be good to go. So let's see. Got this set up right here. Zoom link for you guys here in the premium. So let's see. Sorry about the Zoom link right there. I'm going to go ahead and finish setting everything up right here and should be good to go. All right, just got to update a couple of other things right here. To have everything updated, we can go over everything and we can practice, or we can set up for the daily entry. There's a lot of news this morning, guys, so we're probably only going to be taking the breakout because there's a lot of Fed news this morning. So let me go ahead and finish setting up the room real quick. I think we're good. And then once this is all set up, I'll send out the YouTube link as well. So let me just get this YouTube link out and then I'll go over the analysis for US 30. So let's see. There we go. I got that link sent out. A couple other groups here. All right, cool. So it looks like a lot of you guys are still making it in. So happy Monday, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We're back to make it back. We're back to trading. So yeah, looking over at the news for this morning, there's a lot of news coming up. Looking over here at the Fed news this morning at, let's see, 7 o'clock, Fed members, Bostic is going to be speaking. It's medium. So it's probably going to be something important because generally if it's yellow, it's not that important, but if it's orange, it's pretty important, which will, possibly affect the market one way or another. So we do have news at 7 o'clock with Fed member Bostic speaking. We also have JOLTS job openings, basically indicating, what new jobs are available for the month. Previously, it was 9.21 million available jobs. This month, even more. It seems like a lot of people are still on unemployment. So, it's obviously going to affect the market one way or another. And then again, at 9 o'clock, we have Fed member Barkin speaking. So a lot of Fed news today this morning, which is going to affect the market. So we're probably just going to be taking the breakout and then I'll possibly be looking for some scalps, but I don't think I'm going to be taking them myself. If I do take them, I'll let you guys know. So today's probably going to be a day for questions if you guys do have questions. But for the most part, I'll be going over US 30, the breakout, and also be going over the new indicator that I've been working on because it's been super accurate. So anyways, looking here on the 1 hour, we have a bullish bias right here. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green. We have a pending buy signal right here. Looking over at the 10-minute, same situation, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. Looking at the 3-minute, same situation, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. And lastly, on the 1 minute, same thing. Price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So looking on the technical side, everything looks pretty bullish. Next up, we look at the fundamental side. The futures data over here is currently red right now. It's only down 57 points, which is not too much. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the market actually opens. Looking over here at market sentiment, I don't know if you guys were trading US 30 last night, but it was at 80% short. Now it's 75% short. You can see the reason for that is because all those people got stopped out, right? 80% is short. 80% of people were short. And if you just marked up the liquidity zones that, I generally like to mark up, you guys can see here that whenever these price points got triggered, a huge wave of volatility shot up. So basically, I'll show you guys what I was looking for here. Basically, when price was down here, as soon as it swung back up and it broke through this area of liquidity right here where people have their stop losses if they're short, from there, if you see this, when price finally broke this area right here, you can see that's when price started to shoot up heavily. Right here, price was attempting to break it. It didn't break yet, but as soon as it did break it, you guys can see here that right there goes a break. It starts to shoot up pretty heavily as it comes back up right there. And that's exactly what happened with that 80% short right there. Basically, it was 80%. As soon as people started getting stopped out right here, because this is a big spike from down here all the way up here, it's well over 730 pips. So as soon as people got stopped out, it just started pushing higher and higher. And that's how that number decreased. But it's still a majority short. So it's perfect for us because majority of retail traders are still short. And for us now, we're looking for buys because the technicals are showing a buy side. We just need to wait for the confirmation of the fundamentals here to really go for that buy. Because generally we want to be trading in the direction of the fundamentals. We also want to be trading in the direction of technicals, but we want to be trading opposite of the majority of retail traders. So that's what we'll be looking for here. If you guys can see on the chart, we have these new lines, these horizontal lines that are dotted. These are basically marking up the previous swings from the previous session. So these red lines right here will indicate. So if I take them off, you guys can see right here, it's called the K² sessions high-low indicator. This is something I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Basically, here's a clean chart with nothing on it. When I put this on right here, you can change the settings. You can have the London high lows, the Asia high lows, the New York high lows. So if you just want London from like last session, you just turn on London and there you go. You got the range. See how perfect it is? You guys can see where price range from up here came back down. And then as it comes back up to here, this is important because this can tell you if you get an entry like right here, you might not want to take it because price can do one of two things. It can either bounce off the London high or it can break above it and shoot above even higher, right? So that's why it's really important that we have this here because this gives you a big picture as where price might be bouncing from. So like generally I'll have all of them open right here, Asia high. So from last night, you can see this is when the Asia session was ranging between this area. And then you can see where it's ranging for the London session right here. And you can see it like if you turn all these on right here, it makes a huge difference because you guys can see exactly where the bounces happen. So like one thing that I did was I looked at when price would bounce off this area and then see how it bounced off the London high. And then we had momentum swings at the downside. If you took this sell right here, nice win right there, like smooth win, literally no drawdown, straight to the profit. Same situation with right here. See how price kind of bounced off the London low right here. And then you got a buy signal right here for a momentum swing upwards. That'd be another smooth move to the upside right there as well. So you guys can see that I'm always looking for things to make trading more efficient, right? I was already doing this, drawing it manually, but it makes things so much more efficient when we can just have it on the chart already where you don't have to do any work. You literally just look at the chart and you're like, oh, it bounced off here, the London high, or it bounced off here, the Asia low, or, even bounced up here, the New York high, because the red lines are London, the purple lines are Asia, and the green lines are US, which is, New York session. So I have this set up on all the time frames here. It makes it really easy to scalp. So, even looking here for these scalps, you can see where price really respects these areas. Like I mentioned right here, perfect rejection off this point. And you could have caught, you probably wouldn't have caught that one right there, but, looking at like what I've been using myself is I've been looking at things like this where I'll see the rejection. And then if I see, so right here is not a valid sell entry, but as it comes back down, you see the valid sell right here, right? If I was to see this right here, then I would have taken that short because I'm like, okay, it had a nice rejection off here. It's an extra confirmation. And then with that said, you could have taken this for a nice drop right there for a full TP if you're applying the scalp strategies. So I'm always looking for ways to increase our win rate, and we have a pretty high win rate already here. But if I find something that's going to increase it even higher, then I'm going to create an indicator for you guys to use so that we can keep winning. But yeah, this is a preview of it. I'm going to be testing it all week. Yesterday I had it done, and then it wasn't working on the 3 minute and 1 minute. I had it redone again, some tweaks, and then now it works on the 3 minute and 1 minute. You guys can see how important this indicator is. It makes a huge difference. Even here on the 1 minute, you can see the rejection off this point right here. And after this rejection, you can see that there is no valid buy right here, but as it came back up over here, a valid buy right there. So you could have taken that. And there you go, another full TP. So, I'm just looking for as many ways as possible to help you guys make more profit trading with us here. And it's always going to be like that as the market continues to evolve. When there's new things that come up and there's more tools that we can possibly use that I can think of, I'm going to create new tools for you guys, and then you guys can use them with me here. And you guys can see I don't hide anything, right? Everything that I do, I show you guys exactly what I do, and I give you guys the same exact tools that I use so that you guys can profit with me, if not more. Because a lot of you guys have been doing pretty solid over the over the weekend. Tommy will be here. He just got his payout from FTMO. He got paid out about 86,000 from FTMO. It's only his second month trading. And then Kitman said, FTMO paid you what? All drinks on Tommy. So Tommy gave this gift over here with all of these drinks. So market's opening in about 4 minutes, guys. So once the market opens, we can confirm the direction of fundamentals. If it follows in that direction, then we'll take the buy here. But we don't have that confirmation yet. So I'll just mark this up right here. Market's opening in about 3 minutes. Once it opens, we can take a look. But just a reminder, guys, there's a lot of news this morning, so I'm probably going to be very careful. There's Fed member Bostic speaking at 7. We have Jolt's job openings at 7 as well. And then at 9 o'clock, we have Fed member Barkin. So I'm probably going to look at the breakout from 6:30 to 7. After that, I'm probably not going to trade because I don't want to get caught in any market manipulation due to the Fed member Bostic speaking. So just keep that in mind. So today is Monday. So just, today is also a risky day because it's Monday. Market is barely, reopening off this right here. Let's see. Bilal said, what lot size would you recommend on a 10K FTMO to use your 30-minute US 30 strategy? Could I pass FTMO just using your live stream trades as I cannot afford the monthly subscription? Probably not. I mean, you technically can, Bilal, on the YouTube, but the YouTube is delayed, 30 to 60 seconds. So, I mean, it just depends on how much risk you're looking to take. Because if you're on the YouTube and you're delayed 30 seconds to a minute, by the time we enter a trade, we're usually in the trade for a few seconds, if not a few minutes. If you're in the trade too late, you're going to lose the trade because you're not going to be able to pull out the same time as us. So, I mean, technically you can pass. A lot of people have passed who are just here on the YouTube live stream, but for the most part, you're taking a big risk because you're delayed by so much time that by the time we pull out of the trade, you might still be in the trade. And at that point, it might have reversed at that point. So, Bilal said, also, how much could I make on the 10K account a week? Well, you already have the wrong mindset. So I think for you should probably just not even trade with us, bro, because you're just looking to make like a quick profit. While you can make a quick profit, your mind is in the wrong place. You're looking to make profits. You're looking for weekly goals, which is like a recipe for disaster. If you're looking for a weekly goal, you're probably going to blow your account like on your first trade anyways. So, and I'm just being real with you, Bilal, because I've seen you in the group before. And if you haven't made the jump to like make profits with this whole time, then you're probably not going to make the jump when you actually try it for yourself. And then I'm just being straight up with you because a lot of people here think that that they can make profit like automatically, like it's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but it's very possible. A lot of people here make profit on the free stream. But I could already tell what your mindset is. You're trying to basically gamble here and try to make profit off the live stream. So, I mean, you can go ahead and do it, but I could already tell where your mindset is. And, I usually don't like to work with people like that if you're trying to just gamble, because the thing is, if you're just trying to gamble, you could blow your account really quickly rather than making it consistently. So yeah, Bilal, I mean, I can't tell you how much you can make. I can tell you how much other people here make, but I can't say what you're personally going to make yourself because you obviously don't know how to calculate that on your own terms. So looking over here, the market just opened. The fundamentals over here, it's bullish. Or no, it's not bullish. Sorry, I just updated it. So it's currently bearish right now. It's down 34 points. Looking over here, it looks pretty strong. So we have about 30 seconds left on this candle over here. If this candle closes with a little to no wick on the top side, then we can take this for a buy. But if there's a big wick on top like this, then we're probably not going to take it. It's also getting close to the London high right here. You can see the red dotted line, and that's going to make it a little risky because it could bounce off that point there. So we have about 10 seconds left on this candle. Once this candle closes, we got about 6 seconds. Once this candle closes, we can determine whether we want to take this for a buy or not. So, all right, so this is the breakout entry right here. I'm technically not going to take it myself yet. I'm going to wait for it to close above because it's right at the London high, just like I mentioned before. So you can see right here, I told you that it was risky because it's at the London high, it can bounce off. If I do plan on taking it, I might take it on the, where's my thing at? Okay, there we go. My MC4 wasn't loaded up yet. So this is exactly why I didn't want to take the trade right here, because I said it was going to get close to this London high. And the fundamentals are still pointing towards the downside. So just looking at this right here, the fundamentals are still down about 35 points. So what I'll be looking for here is if it possibly shoots back up. If it shoots back up and closes above here, then I'll possibly take it. But currently right now, I'm not going to take it because it rejected right off that point. You guys can see why it's important that we have this right here. Because this is like, if we didn't have that line right there, so check this out. If we didn't have that line right there, we probably would have just taken this trade here, right? But the thing is, we had that line there, so that's why we decided not to take it. So looking at this right here, this makes a huge difference because if we didn't have that there and we entered right away, look what happened. We would have gone stopped out. So that's a huge plus why we have that new indicator that I just created. Because if we didn't have that there, I probably would have entered that trade. Because if I looked at it from this perspective, so just looking at it like this looks like a great buy right here, right? Because it's straight up. It's like straight up. There's little to no wick on top. But before this trade came up, I mentioned that it was going to get close to that London high. So I'm turning this on right here. It was literally at the London high. So as soon as it hit that London high, look what happened, it came all the way back down. So, I mean, I'm super glad that I had this indicator done by today, because if I didn't, I probably would have taken that trade and I would have eaten that loss. So yeah, definitely great cash right there, guys, with that new indicator. So let me see this right here. I'm going to give the links over here real quick. Ravi. So yeah, we're gonna hold off right now, guys, on taking any of the other trades because of how the market's moving. Also because sorry, I'm just gonna give this to Ravi real quick. My group. All right, so let me just pull up the chat over here. And yeah, it looks like I'm probably not going to take a breakout at all. You can see how it's bouncing back and forth right here. Personally, if I want to take it, I'd probably have to wait for it to actually close above here. So I'm just going to follow it. I'll turn on my alerts, but that breakout looks pretty nasty. I'm not going to take it. All right. So let me check the fundamentals over here. Fundamentals are looking like a sell. This, all right, we got news right here on breaking news for CNBC. Looking at CNBC right here, it says Dow falls 75 points, retreating from Friday's record. All right, so stock futures traded mostly lower early morning amid concerns about global growth after Dow Jones Industrial Average notched a record close Friday. So as you guys can see right here, there's a lot of manipulation likely to happen today because we hit the all-time high on Friday. And then on top of that, there's just a lot of other stuff going on in the world that's causing it. Right here, they're talking about the jolts. It said you saw a lot more jobs being created in a lot of areas, restaurants, hotel, logistics, transportation. So this will affect the market. It's a good sign for US 30. But with that said, this can easily affect a lot of market manipulation, because if people all think, if everyone thinks price is going to go up, then what's probably going to happen is it's probably going to come back down, right? You can see right here, the same zones, or not the zones, the same lines that I drew, price is respecting it again down there. So here's the Asia high right here. You can see that price came down, rejected right off it, right? Came down to the London low, and it's rejecting off it perfectly. So you guys can see how useful these indicators are. I don't create these indicators for no reason. I create them because they make a huge impact on our capabilities on, maximizing our win rate. Because if you didn't have these indicators here, this would easily be missed, right? If I took this indicator off, you guys would have no idea why is it bouncing between here and between here. But with the indicator on, you can see it's bouncing off the London high, came back down, bounced off the London low. And from this point, price can go either way. Price can either bounce right back up or it can come right back down further. And just a reminder, guys, this indicator isn't ready yet. I just finished creating this a couple days ago, or yesterday actually. And I'm still working on it. So I'm going to be testing it all week. Once it's done with testing this week, hopefully I can get it to you guys by the end of the week, if not next week, for the K2 members who have access to the K2 indicator. So it's not ready yet, but this indicator will be ready for you guys probably within the next week or couple weeks, depending on how well it works. Obviously, you can see it's working very, very well today, but we need to make sure that it works consistently over the next couple of weeks before I give it to you guys, because I don't want to publish it and there needs to be changes made to it. So as you can see right here, price is finally breaking below the London low, and you guys can see as it drops lower, there is another area right here. This is going to be the New York low, I believe. Let me check real quick. Yeah, so looking here on the 10-minute, you guys can see the high lows even clear because there's more space. You can see that price is coming back. It's rejecting off the London high, came back down right here, rejected off the London low. And then now it's just kind of just going down the middle right here. So once we have the confirmation of like where it's going, we can possibly take a scalp. It is 6:37. We have Fed member Bostic coming on at 7. So if it gets close to 7, I'm probably not going to take any trades, but I do have my alert set up just in case I do want to take something. So we have a 3-minute signal right here. It's a pending sell signal. I'm probably not going to take it because like I mentioned earlier, it's right next to the Asia low. So the last thing I want to do is enter a sell, and then it bounces off the Asia low and it comes all the way back up, which is what might happen from here. All right, so let me go over here real quick and I'm going to see what everyone's talking about. Let me just go over here. Yeah, Kel said it's 76% short on US 30. So now it's 74. So you guys can see right here as this number decreases, it's because a lot of people are getting stopped out. There was a lot of people that were short. It was 80% short last night for London for Asia session. So like this whole session right here, let me mark this up. So like from market open right here, right, market opened right over here. So from here, it was like 80% short and price just kept going down. As soon as price spiked back up right here, it stopped people out. Then it came back down. So it started to stack some more sellers. As soon as it stacked some more sellers, it just spiked back up and it stopped people out again. Looking at this right here, you guys can see how important these lines are, right? It bounced exactly off the London low. So from market open right here, it bounced exactly off the London high. And then now again, it bounced exactly off the London low. So we could probably expect this to bounce up from this point right here. But I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. There's no guarantee it's going to bounce up, but you guys can see how important these lines are right here. If we didn't have these lines, we probably would have taken these trades and we would have gotten screwed because it looks like a normal just back and forth movement, right? But now that we have the lines here, we can see that it's not normal at all. It's actually bouncing off the high lows from London session. So looks pretty good so far. I mean, I really like this indicator. This indicator makes a huge difference with our analysis. All right, so you can see right there, it bounced right off the London low and it shot up about 300 pips. So we'll see what happens from here. But this, I mean, this is crazy, right? It's crazy how accurate this indicator is because we just avoided one big loss right here and then possibly another big loss right here if we try to enter this sell. Because if you enter the sell right here, you probably would have gone stopped out. Not yet, but you probably would have gone stopped out. Your stop loss would have been right here at 500 pips. So you'd have been in some massive drawdown if you took that sell right there. Yeah, Sinatra said it's so crazy. The indicator you're making would prevent a loss that I took last week. Really got the sauce. Yeah, definitely, Sinatra. Uh, this thing makes a huge difference. And thanks to Kenneth. So Kenneth, I don't know if you're here in the room right now, but Kenneth is the one that reminded me about this tool. I used to use this tool when I first started trading, but I stopped using it for a while because I went from this to doing support and resistance. But looking at this here, this is actually way more accurate than support and resistance, especially for our scalping right here. So big thanks to Kenneth. If you guys have seen Kenneth in the room, he's the one that's been uh, pretty much showing his profits every day. Let me see, Kenneth's at. Yeah, so this is Kenneth right here. He's the one that's been showing me the indicator. So he didn't show me the indicator, but he showed me what he was doing. And I told him, this is basically what I've been doing in the past. So he's been making some pretty solid profits using this as well, about 500 to 1,000 a day, just trading the K2 strategies. And then he started implementing this confirmation right here. And you can see from his trades right here. So from July 19th up until today, he's had like little to no losses, straight wins every single day for like the past couple months. And you can see his profits here. He sends me his profits every single day, and he's been super on point. So yeah, definitely great work to Kenneth over here for giving me that tip to create this indicator for you guys. All right, cool. Morning, Alex. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. Let me check the chat real quick. Morning, Taryn. Morning, Adrian. Morning, Astrid. Morning, Salorem. Morning, Mark. Morning, Peter. Morning, Clyde. Morning, Razul. Morning, C-Soup. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Felix. Morning, Alco. Morning, Al. Morning, Matt. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Miles. Morning, everybody. So let me go ahead and check this real quick. So you guys can see prices coming. It broke right below the London low, but another area of where price can bounce from would be right here, the New York low. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Luis said technical traders always look left. London high was a good sell point. Came warning so far. Yeah, no, exactly, Luis. Yeah, that's exactly what we were looking at. So when the market opened right here, we identified the London high right here, and I just saw Ken just join the room. So Ken, thanks for giving us this tip with this new indicator, the swing high lows for the previous session. So Kenneth, once this is ready, I'll send you the indicator too, because I know you've been using it. So this is something that you can possibly use on your own since you've been applying it daily. Hey, Deswell, morning. AW, morning. Yeah, definitely. Happy Monday, everybody. So just looking at price right here, I mean, it's pretty crazy how price is moving right now. It's going back and forth. So you can see price opened right here at 630. As soon as price bounced off this area, once price bounced off the London high, it dropped a total of 1,400 pips. Again, right here, price bounced off the London low, and then now it's bouncing all the way back up another about 600 pips, 500 to 600 pips right here. We didn't take the breakout this morning, guys, because price is kind of moving a little crazy. Also, we have a lot of news this morning. So just keep in mind that there's high impact news this morning. We have Fed member Bostic speaking at 7 in about 25 minutes or 15 minutes, sorry. And then we have JOLTS job openings at the same time. At 9 o'clock, we have another Fed member, Barkin, speaking. So I'm probably not going to trade today. If you guys have questions, this would be the best day to get your questions out of the way so that we can answer them. But if I see anything good, I'll call the trade. But right now, I currently don't see anything good. So I'm glad that we didn't take this trade right here. Like I was mentioning before, it's a good thing that we created this new indicator yesterday, because if we didn't create this indicator, I'll just show you guys like the mistakes that we could have made this morning. So this morning right here, we saw this big bullish candle. If you guys are just joining the room, so this new indicator right here is the sessions high low indicator for K2. Basically, it identifies the highs from each previous session. So if I turn this off right here, if you look at this right here, this looks like a perfect buy, right? The reason why we didn't enter this buy right here is because we had the London high marked up right there. That's why I was like, okay, we're going to hold off and not take this trade yet. So looking at that right there, look what happens next. It drops all the way down, and we identified exactly where that point was because we had the London high already marked up. and we skipped that. If we took that trade there, we would have had a heavy loss because this dropped heavily down about 1,400 pips, and it just kept dropping further and further. Again, right here, good thing that we didn't enter the sell when it came down to this point, because price rejected off the London low right here, and then from this point, it came all the way back up from where it currently is. So this is why it's really important that you guys, take everything into consideration. A lot of people don't look at the whole aspect of trading. They just look at the technical side or just the fundamental side. You guys have to come full circle with your analysis to make sure that you don't get caught in these moves right here. So, so just another reminder, guys, this indicator is still brand new. I just created it yesterday. So it's going to take a week or a couple weeks for me to finalize everything to make sure that everything's working properly. So hopefully by the end of this week, if it works smoothly, then we can, I can release it to you guys by the end of this week. If not, maybe by next week, if not by then, the week after, but it shouldn't take too long because you guys can see the indicator is pretty self-explanatory. It just marks the previous session high lows. The red lines are, so I'll go on the 10-minute here. The red lines are the London highs and lows. The purple lines are the Asia high lows, and the green lines are the New York session high lows, which you guys can see right here that it works very well. Rejection from that point, rejection from this point right here. It pretty much identifies exactly where price is going to likely reject from. And with that said, it makes a huge difference with avoiding bad trades. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll go and check out the chat right now and answer your questions as we go. But currently right now, I don't think I'm going to be taking any trades because there's a lot of news this morning. So let me scroll up real quick and let's see what we got over here. So let's see. Yeah, Maddie, I can do that after we're done because I can't go through the whole settings right now, Maddie, because we're on the live session. So once we're done with the session, I'll go ahead and update your account because I think everything probably reset. Yeah, Maddie. So I'll fix that for you a little later once we're done with the live session. Yeah, no problem. Let me check this real quick. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see. Al said, how do you adjust the trend meter for lower time frames? So Al, if you want to change the settings for the trend meter, just go down here to trend meter, click on the settings button right here, and then you can change the time frames. So the original time frames are set to intraday settings, 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. If you just want it set to scalping, change it to same as chart for all four right here. And then it'll show you the trend on that specific time frame. So if you're on the 10-minute, it'll show you the time frame, or it'll show you the trend meter for the 10-minute, for the 3-minute. If you do that, it'll show you the trend meter for the 3-minute, and then vice versa for the 1 minute, same situation. It'll show you the trend meter for the 1 minute. And I just have them set to same as chart right here. Scroll down a little further. Rav said, hi, Shawn, how do I get the new indicator? So the new indicator is not ready yet, Rav. It should be ready probably by the end of this week, if not next week. And I'll let you guys know when it's ready. Let me see this real quick. All right, cool. So I think that's it for the questions in the Zoom. Let me check the YouTube. And I think that's it for the questions on the YouTube. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask any question that you guys want. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of news this morning, so I'm not really going to be taking very many trades at all, or trades in general at all, because we have a lot of Fed news. The Fed members here, basically the Fed, if you guys aren't familiar with the Fed, they're basically part of the U.S. Treasury. So with the Fed over here speaking, like a lot of things that they can say will affect US 30 because, they're probably going to talk about interest rates, talk about COVID, talk about jobs, talk about a lot of stuff affecting the US economy. So it's going to directly affect US 30. And that's why I'm probably not going to be trading this at all, and it's also Monday, so it's a risky day as well. So I'm here for open questions. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask any questions you guys want, whether it's about any of the K2 strategies, any of the K2 indicators, even this new indicator. If you want me to go more in detail about it, I can show you how I mark it up from scratch. Because, this can be done by scratch. You don't need the indicator. It's just the indicator makes a huge difference with efficiency because you don't have to go and actually mark it up. It just, the algorithm that I created automatically plots it for you. So you don't have to go and do all the work. And that's the main key with trading, especially if you're scalping. You need to be able to trade efficiently, because especially with scalping, if you're trading on the 1 minute, you got to know exactly where these things are, like these price points at any given moment. Because if you're off by like a few seconds, few minutes, you can easily miss a trade right then and there. So let me check this real quick. This could be a possible scalp for a sell. I'm measuring it from the next swing high low right here, or not swing high low, but the session high low, because if I'm going to take a sell right here, it's going to be fine because we can get out of that CP before it gets to that point right there. But you can see prices kind of just bouncing back and forth, so it's still a little risky. Also, news is coming in about 9 minutes, so we'll see how price reacts to the news. But I think I'm not going to, I'm probably going to sit off the the market today because of all of the news this morning. Because this Fed member Bostic is probably going to speak for 1 or 2 hours. As soon as he's done speaking, Fed member Barkin's going to come on at 9. So you're really not going to have time to trade at all this morning. You can't trade. Well, I mean, technically you can trade, but for me personally, I'm not going to take a trade and risk losing because they could say something that can reverse market, almost immediately. So let's see. Michael's asking, hi, Shawn. Sorry, I missed the change chart setting. You showed again. So Michael, if you want to change the settings, just go down to KC trend meter right here. Click on this settings button. Go to inputs and then change it to same as chart. It's generally set to this. This is the default settings. It's generally set at 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. This is the intraday settings. But if you want to change it to what we use for scalping, just change it to same as chart. If you scroll all the way to the top, it'll say same as chart right there. And then once you have that set up, you should be good to go. So another possible 1 minute scalp right here. If this closes, I'm probably not going to take it. It's too close to this this Asia low. I mean, if it does close well, I'll mark it up if you guys want to take it. But for me personally, I'm not going to take it. So it's really going to be up to you guys whether you want to take that risk or not. If I'm not taking a trade that's going to say something that I find it to be very risky. And if you guys have been following me for a while, I'm a very conservative trader. I don't like to lose trades. I take about 1 to 3 trades a day, but they all win. I barely lose. I probably lose like once or twice a month because I'm very picky with and selective with what I decide to take. So looking at this right here, this technically would be a short entry off the 1 minute scalp, and it would have hit CP already. So you guys would have to be really quick. This is why it's important that you guys have the indicators here, because the indicators make all the difference when taking these trades here. So if you guys had the indicators, you guys could have taken the sell here. It already would have hit full TP right there. So congrats to whoever caught it. Let me check the chat because it looks like some of you guys did catch it here. Let's see. So let me scroll down real quick. Justin Mugai over here locked in 484 for the day. Nice work, Justin. Steven over here locked in 1,408. Nice work, Steven. So he caught that rejection from that bottom over there. Deswell over here locked in 5,001 for the day. Nice work, Deswell. Kevin Lim over here locked in a total of 1,304. Damn, so he took trades in both directions. He took sells, so he took the sell from up here. And he took the buy from possibly down here as well. So he took the sell and the buy for a nice profit right there of 1,304 to kick off the trading morning. Rick over here as well. Rick took some sells and buys. He locked in a total of 1,016. Nice work, Rick. Tommy over here took the trades as well. Looks like he sent back to sleep. I'm hungover. Good night, team. So he locked in a total of 3,584. Nice work, Tommy. Patricia as well. Patricia took a sell and a buy for a total of 4,209. So if you guys were here following the session from the beginning, you guys would have seen a lot of these available entries that you could have taken if you're familiar with the strategies here. Brittany as well locked in a total of 642. Nice work, Brittany. Joshua over here locked in a total of 28,358. Now it's a big profit right there. Looks like he took, he took some buys right there. Looks like he probably took the rejection off this point from here and then just made a huge profit off that. And Deswell right there, 5,001. Michael over here, 809. Nice work, Michael. So you guys can see here, even though I didn't take any trades, a lot of people here know the actual strategies that we're applying. So they're able to take these trades on their own without me having to tell them what to take. This is why it's important that you guys learn the strategy so you guys can apply this on your own and make, basically an infinite amount of profits. So I'll just give an update in the chat right now for this move right here, since a lot of you guys did take it, just to confirm that a lot of you guys are out of the position. So let me go over here real quick. Just give you guys a little update off that for whoever took it. All right, so I didn't take this trade myself, guys, but this is just for the guys who did take it, because it looks like a lot of you guys did take it here. All right, for whoever took it here. So let's see, Razul over here as well. So Kyle took it too. He took the sell, made a total of 1,613 for the morning. Nice work, Kyle. Razul over here said, made my losses of 260 euros this morning, additional 561 thanks to the live session and the high low. So definitely right here, you guys can see, if you guys have been part of K2 for a while and you guys have seen, how I trade, you guys are able to trade off these little hints that I give you guys in the market. So you can see right here, Razul, he didn't even follow most of the strategy. He just basically made his losses off the live session of what I was talking about and with these high lows here. So Razul made a total of 561. Like before the live session right here, he made a couple losses. But with the live session this morning, he saw the bounces that I was talking about off these high lows. And he was able to lock in some pretty massive profit to cover all of his losses and then make some profit on top of that. So he's up a total of 561 euros for this morning. Nice work, Razul. Let's see over here. Nice. So Nico just passed his FTMO. Nice work, Nico. So Nico right here, going back to what we were talking about earlier with the lull over here. So you can see, I don't think Nico is in the premium, but you can see Nico, he passed his FTMO already right here with one trade, just one day. Took one trade, or I don't know if it was one trade, but just one day of trading, he's passed it right here. So as you can see, it is possible to pass your FTMO and do well if you don't have if you have the proper mindset. So, what I always want to make sure that you guys understand is that you guys have the proper mindset when you guys trade. Don't think about passing your FTMO in a day. Like if you're trying to pass your FTMO a day, you might fail it. But if you guys are just trading how you're supposed to, and you guys just, happen to take some good trades, then you can easily pass it. It's possible. It's possible, but it's not guaranteed. That's what I wanted to get across to you guys. Looking over here, Slorm locked in a total of 721 or 727. Nice work, Slorm. Let's see, any other profits here? Gene Vaughn over here. So Gene Vaughn took the buy there, locked in a total of 990 off one account. And then his other account over here, he locked in, it's the same thing. So he locked in about 1,000 for the day. Patricia here locked in a total of 4,209. You can see these are all different people messaging me their profits. Roman as well. Roman locked in a total of 2,183. Nice work. Oh, nice, Neandro. So that's Neandro right there. Actually, Neandro's been part of K2 for a while. So Neandro's been here in the group. That's great profit right there, Neandro. Passing your FTMO with one day. How many trades did you take? Was it just one trade or did you take a lot? Just want to confirm to see what you did to pass, because that's pretty good, Neandro. So if you guys can see here in the YouTube chat, Nico right here is Neandro in the chat. He passed his FTMO with one day of trading. He made about 6,000 today. I'm not sure if he took one trade or a couple trades, but whatever it is, he passed. So big congrats to you, Neandro. I know you've been part of the K2 chat for a couple months now, if not like maybe a year. And it's good to see that a lot of people here are passing their FTMOs pretty easily. All right, let me see if there's anything else over here real quick. Patrick as well. Patrick locked in a total of 1,849. Great work, Patrick. Yeah, I think that's it for the profits right now. If you guys have profits you guys want to send over to me, go ahead and send them over. I pretty much save everyone's profits whenever you guys send your profits in, basically all the K2 profits for this entire year. There hasn't been one day where not one person has profited in K2. So you guys, if you guys want me to pull up any random day here, I can pull up like, January 11th. Sam over here locked in a couple $100. Jermaine locked in 10,000 that day. I can pull up any day here. There hasn't been one day where someone hasn't profited with us here at K2. January 28th, Mark over here locked in 2,000. Spencer locked in 1,348. Neandro took 70 trades. Okay, so maybe I was a little wrong about Neandro taking one trade. He took 70 trades this morning. So he took gold on open. And he did pretty good. Even though he took 70 trades, he still passes FTMO. So as long as you guys know what you're doing, you guys can easily pass your FTMO, whether it's one trade like I do or it's 70 trades like Neandro did. There's not just one way to pass it. right, let me scroll up real quick. Al said, is it possible to trade US 30 breakout strategy during Asia and London sessions? Does the strategy work the same way? So Al, not necessarily, because US 30 is a US asset. That's why we trade it during the US session. If you want to trade Asia session, you should probably trade an Asian asset, right? Like I think it's like the Japan 255. Like that's their indice. So if you look here on my list, there's different indices that you can use for each session. This isn't going to be as fast during Asia session because the market's going to be closed. So yeah, it's right here, JP 225. This would be the Japanese index. And you can see that this indicator right here that I created works for this as well. It's not just for US 30, it works for everything. So if you want to trade any asset, like literally any asset, if you want to trade US 30, it works. If you want to trade the Asia asset, which is like the most popular one, is JP 255. You can see the indicator right here works perfectly fine as well. I can take off the momentum indicator right here and the pivots as well. And you can see how accurate it is, right? You guys can identify a lot of things here just having this indicator on the chart. You can see where price, where it ranges, consolidates. You can see where it breaks out. You can see when it breaks from structure to structure. It makes a huge difference right here. You can see the JPY is actually just going sideways, but having this indicator right here, you can see exactly where it's bouncing from the London high and the London low. So you can use this for, if you want to trade Asia session, you probably want to trade the Japanese index. If you want to trade London, then you might want to trade the US 30 equivalent, which is the DAX 30. So if you want to trade that, you can see here the indicator works just as fine with the DAX as well. It works for everything. And this is my goal here. My goal here is to make trading easier for you guys so that you guys can make better decisions when you guys enter these trades. So just looking at this here, it works perfectly fine with the DAX as well. Here's London high, London low, and you can see it was respecting price from the London highs and lows as well. So depending on what you want to trade out, I would stick to the specific asset for that session. If you want to trade London, trade a London asset. If you want to trade Asia, trade an Asia asset. If you want to trade US, trade a US asset. There's a different asset for each session. So what I'd recommend is to just stick to what is actually moving during that time. Because if you look over here, if you look at US 30 during Asia session, this thing barely moves. So right here, you can see the range from here. It moves like 500 pips, which is like literally nothing. 500, 700 pips, which is, yesterday. So from yesterday, it moved like barely at all. And it's just not worth the risk. You might as well trade something that's actually moving during that time, especially if you want to scalp. Yeah, no problem, Al. Glad I could help you with that. Yeah, Neandro said it's a mindset and discipline. Patience is the key, Shawn. I learned so much from you and learned about Paris. Yeah, no, definitely, Neandro. I'm glad that you learned a lot from that. And I'm glad to see that you passed your FTMO. So I think you're going to be moving over to your, let's see. All right, yeah, so this is your challenge. So you're going to be moving on to your verification. What I recommend now is just take a 0.01, take a really small lot size, Neandro, and just close your trades to pass the 10 days. Once the 10 days are passed, you'll get your verification. Do the same thing you did for here. Past that, once you're funded, you're pretty much trading risk-free at that point. Looking over here, Melinda over here. So the two sisters right here killed it. So Melinda and EW are both sisters. So sister number one here, Melinda, locked in a total of 1,907. Nice work, Melinda. And then her sister over here, EW, locked in a total of 6,303. So definitely great work there, EW. So EW said, thanks, K2. They both locked in a ton of profit together. So both of the sisters locked in together. And her other sister, Brittany. So looking at the three here, let me see if I can pull her up. I'll just move Brittany to the bottom over here to show you, because she did make profit too. So here's the three sisters right here, Brittany, Melinda, and EW. And I'll delete this one so it's not a double post. All right, the three sisters right here. We got Melinda, sister number one, locked in 1,907. Sister number two, EW, locked in a total of 6,303. And sister number three, Brittany, over here, locked in a total of 642. Nice work, guys. You guys killed it to kick off this trading week. Yeah, great work, guys. So, for me, I didn't take any trades, so I'm fine. Like, I'm not really feeling that FOMO because there's a lot of news happening this morning. Looking over here at the news, I'll refresh this. All right, so the Jolt jobs opening, they were previously 9 million.48. They were forecasting it to be less. It was actually good news. There's now 10 million.07 jobs available in the US today. So there's a lot of jobs available. With that said, with a lot of jobs available, that's going to indicate that, the market's looking good. With a lot of jobs available, a lot of these people who are on unemployment can easily go find a job. But, obviously there's a lot of people out there who are not looking to go get a job because they're probably making more off unemployment than they did at their normal job. So with that said, that's going to be positive for the US 30 over here. It's probably not going to push up right away, but eventually I think throughout this week, it's going to push up. So right now, you can see it's slowly going down, right? I think by the end of the week, or not by the end of the week, but all throughout the week, it's going to slowly make its way up and then possibly make a new all-time high. I'm going to mark this up right here so that we can follow the all-time high. Okay. So I think by the end of this, maybe not by the end of this week, but maybe by next week, we'll probably hit a new all-time high if the data keeps coming out well. So right here, we have a lot of jobs that are available. That's good for the economy here in the US. Looking here at CPI, if this is positive, this is positive. The rest of the news this week is positive. So say Wednesday, this news is positive. Let's see, crude oil inventories, if this is positive too, meaning that it's less, the number is smaller than what it was previously. Let's see what else. Unemployment claims. If all this news right here is good for the rest of the week, we can probably expect price to hit a new all-time high again. But we'll see. This is just the start of the week. It's Monday. There's a lot of stuff going on. So with that said, let me see if there's anything else here that I can look at. Nothing else on my radar at the moment. But yeah, okay, so let me check this real quick and see what else I missed over here. All right, went over everyone's profits. I think we're good with that. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Let's scroll up. So Michael said, okay, I already went over that for Michael. Clyde said, if you're scalping, you just set the time frames and the settings to same as chart on all time frames on the trend meter. Yeah, that's correct, Clyde. That's what I do. I just set it to all the same because I just want to see where price is moving, within the few minutes or so. I don't really care what's going on for the day because we're just trading within, within a few seconds, if not a few minutes. But we don't really care what's going to happen, an hour from now, 2 hours from now, since our trading window for me personally is only from 6:30 to 8 anyways. So it doesn't really matter to me what's going to happen, hours from now, if not days from now. Oh, definitely. Yeah. So Clyde said, every time I watch live, I learn so much. Thank you, Shawn. Definitely, Clyde. Glad to help you guys with this out. I want to make sure that all of you guys are on that same level. So as you guys can see here, we have a ton of profits every day, right? If you guys aren't on this list of profits, let me know what your guys' problem is, right? Because if everyone here is killing it and you're like the one person that doesn't have profits to share, I want to make sure you're on this list of profits as well. My goal here is to help you guys out. I've been trading for 11 years. You guys help me just as much as I help you guys. Because you guys keep me on point with my trading. So my goal here is to make sure that you guys are on this list of profits. If you guys aren't on this list of profits, let me know what's the problem. Let me know if you guys are too scared with trading. You need help with trade psychology. You need to understand the strategies better. Because I'm here to help you guys out. I'm basically, an open book for you guys here. I've been trading for so long that I can possibly answer any trading questions that you guys have, and I can help you guys get to the next level. So, if you guys are in K2, if you guys have been here for a while, you guys have seen who here profits. If you guys want to be on this list, just let me know and I can help you guys get to that level. Let's see. Cheryl over here said, well, they do say when it returns, start a news, guess it proves it. Yeah, so right here, you can see Cheryl marked up the NFP candle. So this is the NFP opening candle from last week. Looks like it came all the way back down. Let me go over here real quick on the 10-minute. And we'll see what happened there. So let me see. Yeah, so over here, this is where, it was right at the same point. So if I go over here real quick and just zoom in, just within that area. So this is the NFP candle right here. This is basically where price spiked up from NFP, this whole area right here. So last Friday, you can see price shot up from NFP, right? Now it came all the way back down to where it originally was. So now price is balanced. Price is back to where it's supposed to be. And now it can probably make its direction. So if it wants to go down, it'll go down. If it wants to go up, it'll go up. But it's currently in the same area where it was prior to NFP. And that's what Cheryl over here was confirming with you guys. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing over here. Let's see. Michael said, "Hi, Shawn. After passing the FTMO challenge, does one's account automatically move to verification stage, or do you have to contact FTMO?" So, Michael, FTMO is a lot more professional compared to like Funding Talent. I'm sure you did Funding Talent before, so you think from what you're used to, you have to contact them. For FTMO, you don't have to contact them; they'll contact you. So once you pass your challenge, they'll reach out to you. They'll email like, "Hey, congrats, Michael. You passed your FTMO. Here's your verification login." So they'll give you a brand new login. You don't have to do anything. They'll confirm with you everything. They've been around for a while, so they kind of got they got it all figured out. But yeah, once you get done with it, they're gonna message you and they'll give you your new account details. So your challenge account and your verification account are two separate accounts. They'll give you another login, and then from there, you'll do your verification. And then once you're done with your verification, which you'll probably be done with it within the next week or so. Once you're done with your verification, then they'll send you another email and say, "Congrats, Michael, you're a FTMO funded trader." And then they'll have you sign a contract. Once you sign the contract, they'll give you the funded account. And then 30 days from your first trade on that account, you get your first payout, and then you'll get your refund as well. So that's basically the whole process for FTMO. And that's why I always recommend FTMO, guys. I won't recommend anything else other than FTMO until I've confirmed that they're a good company. But I've been with FTMO for over a year now, and they've been pretty solid. They've been solid with their payouts. They've been solid with their support. They've been solid with everything. So that's the reason why I never really left FTMO, and I've been with them for over a year now. All right, let's see. Prices breaking below here. You can see prices breaking below these lows. And I mean, we'll see what happens from here. Let me see. Looking over here at the news. The fundamental bias is now for a sell. It's 147 points down. Looking over here at the, wow, it looks like a lot of people are getting kicked out of the trade. So a lot of retail traders, it was 80%, went down to 75, now it's 73. So over here, this is now starting to lessen. We'll see what happens from here. I mean, looking at the actual stock index, let me refresh this. Yeah, Dow falls 100 points, retreating from Friday's highs. So looking at this over here, majority of the stock index is red. So the fundamentals are pointing towards the downside. I think it's going to keep dropping for the rest, or maybe not the rest of the day, but for a while now. Here's breaking news from CNBC. It's down over 100 points. I don't think this is going to hold though. Generally like CNBC, when they report news like this is like, it's old because it's already happened. Generally when people see this, so this is how they trap you too. This is why it's important that you guys don't follow exactly what the news tells you, because right here, they're trying to strike fear into people, right? So they see this right here, where they see the Dow falls 100 points. What happens if you guys see this in the news? If you see this, you'll probably sell US 30, right? Because you think it's going to keep dropping. As soon as you enter that sell, what happens to US 30? It spikes all the way back up. So this is why it's important that you guys follow news with a grain of salt. Make sure that you actually look at the charts and you guys look at everything, like look at the fundamentals, look at market sentiment. Because when you see news like this is usually a trap. You know, they set this news out to trap people to enter these sells. But then as soon as you enter the sell, it goes complete opposite. I'm sure it's happened to you guys before where you guys follow news and you're like, oh, this news right here is green, right? So what happens when you see the green news? You enter a buy. As soon as you enter a buy, it drops. And then as soon as you see news here for, bad news, and then you enter a sell, what happens from that point? It shoots all the way back up. So just be careful, guys. These are all psychological games that are being played with you. What you have to look at is actual data. Don't look at like what the news sources are telling you, because if you follow what they're saying, you're usually going to fall into a trap that they're setting up for you. And you generally don't want to trade in the direction of the majority. Majority is still short right now, so I do expect it to bounce up at some point this week. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Going back to the Zoom chat over here. See, and you can see right here, it's starting to reject off the New York low right there. So as you can see, this trap might be setting up right here. They might have trapped a bunch of sellers. As soon as this candle right here closes, this might skyrocket all the way back up. And don't be surprised if it happens, because I just explained to you, like how this works. I've been trading long enough, and I've been caught in this trap a bunch of times. So this is why I don't fall for the trap anymore, because I don't like losing trades. I've been trading long enough to avoid them. So I kind of know what to look out for when I'm looking at the charts and when I'm looking at news. So scrolling up right here, let me see what I missed. Let's see. Felix said I'm not yet on the profits list since I'm just starting my 10K challenge this week. Hope to make it on the list soon. Definitely, Felix. Yeah, if you just stay consistent, you should have no problem making it on the list. Even with a 10K count, you could still make a pretty solid profit. I think so. Let's see. If you're on a 10K count, let's see, 10,000, and then say you make about 5% a day, right? You're still making about 500 a day, pretty solid. So no problem. You can make $10, you can make $5, you can make $500, you make $5,000. It doesn't matter. Profit's profit, and you'll be building from that anyways. You'll start off with like $500 a day, and then once you get to a bigger account like 25K, you'll start making 1,000 a day, right? You go to a $5,000 or 100K account, you'll start making 1,000 a day. It's a growing process. So there's no rush, Felix, but you'll definitely be on the list with time. Alco said, what times of the day do you normally trade besides early morning? I don't trade at all besides early morning. I just trade 6:30 to 8. That's it. This is like another misconception that you guys get. A lot of people think that you need to trade 24 hours a day, right? For me, I only trade 2 hours a day or an hour and a half a day. And you guys have seen my profits here. All of my profits here, I rarely lose. So if you guys have been following me last week, these are all my trades from last week, right? If you guys just follow everything I took one trade on Friday. I made about 4,500 on my other account, total of 10,000 total. So that's just one trade. Looking over here, the previous day, I took 3 trades, right? 3 trades for about $4,000 profit. My other account again, 3,000, no losses, right? I only trade in the morning, Al. You don't have to trade all day. A lot of people try to trade all day, but what happens is you guys make profits with me in the morning, and then you trade Asia and you lose all those profits. So, it's kind of counterproductive if you're trading all day, but you end up losing all your profits later on in the day. So for me personally, I only trade an hour and a half a day. I live a pretty relaxed life. I literally trade with you. I hang out with you guys in the morning. This is all we do. We hang out from 6:30 to 8. I take trades with you guys, and then the rest of the day, I do whatever I want, right? I don't have to be on the charts all day, and you guys don't have to either. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You guys have to keep in mind that life's short. You guys should enjoy life. You guys don't have to be trading all day every day. I mean, if you guys want to, it's completely fine. But for me, I kind of want to live a non-stressful life. I just want to trade from 6 to 8 and then do whatever I want to do after that, because I make enough profit to cover. I mean, you guys have seen the profits I make. I don't need to trade all day. I make probably as much profit as someone who trades all day with just 1 or 2 trades a day. So that's something to keep in mind if you guys have been trading all day, because I've seen a lot of you guys where you guys trade with me in the morning. You make your big profits in the morning, and then at night you just lose all of it because you lose everything during Asia session, which is the worst session to trade. So let's see, Deswell over here. He's now up 9,275. Nice work, Deswell. Congrats. Yeah, so Deswell said 9K Monday, and I'm done. So he's done for the day. Looking over here, Kyle locked in a total of 3,878. Nice work, Kyle. Yeah, Kyle said got out early on 3-minute, 10-minute active. So let me go over here to the 3-minute. Yeah, that was a smart move right there, Kyle. So Kyle right here entered this 3-minute, but he exited late, which is a smart move because he entered like right at the New York low. So the New York low is right here. It bounced right off the New York low, and then it came all the way back up. So like I was just saying right here, guys, for the 10-minute, see how I mark this up? I said to be careful if you guys are following the news, because if you guys follow the news where they try to scare people into entering sells, looking at the, I don't even know what happened to it, but there was like a news article that showed that it was dropping like 100 points. As soon as people enter that sell, look what happens. Bounce all the way back up. Huge rejection off here for about 300 pips, close to 500 pips. If you had your tight stop loss right there, you probably would have gone stopped out if you enter that sell. So you guys always got to keep in mind that the news isn't always going to tell you the proper thing to follow. Just, whenever you follow news, make sure that you're looking at other confirmations to confirm that price is actually going to go in that direction, because odds are it's probably not going to go in that direction. All right, 133 points in the red right now. Looking at the market sentiment, you can see the number here starting to decrease, right? It went from 75 this morning to now 72. Reason for that is because people are getting stopped out. Let me scroll down real quick and see what else I'm missing over here. So let's see. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. about time. I don't really trade any other time besides this. The only time I trade is in the morning. Nia's asking, when you have a funded account on FTMO, do they have a way you can withdraw profits from the MT4 app onto their site so you're not trading profits? No, you can't, Nia. So at the end of the month, once you're funded, they'll give you an option. When you go on the FTMO website, there'll be a tab here on the left side. It'll say FTMO account or FTMO trader. When you click on that right there, at the end of the month, they'll ask you how much profit you want to take out. So you still got to use proper risk with your account. You can't like put profits aside. You have to keep trading it. So you always got to make sure that you use proper risk. But at the end of the month, that's when you can take money out of the account. For me personally, a lot of people, they like to just keep their money in the account. For me, I just pull my profits every month because if I have too much profits in there, I'm going to start taking dumb trades because I'm going to think that I have extra profits to lose. And that's that's a bad way of thinking. So like for me, I'm very conservative. I like to pull out all my profits at the end of every month. And then I just start a fresh account every following month after that. Let's see. Essa said, I learned a lesson not to trade in Asia session. Lost trade of 2,525. Exactly, right? So that happens to a lot of people. So you're not the only person. A lot of people make profit with me here in the morning, and then they trade in Asia session, or they trade after I go off the live, and then they lose all of their profits. So what I always recommend is if you guys want to have consistent profits every single day, just trade with me in the morning from 6:30 to 8. If you guys want to trade after that, use a smaller lot size, because the problem with a lot of people is they'll keep trading and they'll end up losing pretty much all of their profits all throughout the day once we get off the session. Yeah, Maddie said took some L's this morning but made it back, got into profit. Risky day today. No, exactly, Maddie. So Maddie had a couple losses right here, but he made it all back. So thankfully he had a couple losses early this morning and then he bounced right back, made 536 this morning. So definitely great work, Maddie. All right, cool. So that looks good right there. Yeah, other than that, let's see. Joshua locked in a total of 232 right here. Nice work, Joshua. And then right here, he locked in a total of 764. So definitely both accounts right here for Joshua. Nice profits both ways. All right, cool. Yeah, if you guys have any other profits you guys want to send over, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, I think we might be wrapping up this session early if you guys don't have any questions. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and then I will I'll answer your questions for you. Other than that, let me see if I'm missing anything over here. Let's see, 19 is asking, I'm sorry, I don't know if you answered the question, but does news need to be watched during London session? So, I mean, technically it should be 19. You don't necessarily have to, but I always look at the news. Doesn't matter what session I'm trading. I always look to make sure there's any news during that time, because even though it's London news, it can still cause, price to be pushed one way or the other. I don't think there's been very much London news lately though. Or actually, let me see this. I don't know what happened to my, okay. So I don't know what happened to my currencies. They all like came off, but now I just put them back on. You can see right here that sometimes there is news during London. So like London news right here. And the reason for that is because the, London is a strong power of the world, right? It's a world power. So basically if something's affecting the euro or, the European economy, it can affect other assets too. It trickles to other assets, even though it doesn't directly affect it, it'll trickle over to other assets as well. So you should definitely look at the news at all times, not just during US session. You should definitely look at it all throughout, US, Asia, London, just to be sure. You just want to make sure that you're not trading around those time periods, because that can be the difference between winning and losing a trade if there's a news event that could be affecting the market. Let me see this real quick. Yeah, so and another thing that I recommend is a lot of people ask me, what do I do to control losses? For me, I rarely lose. So if I do lose a trade, I just stop trading for the day. So if I lose one trade, I'm just done for the day. And I just come back tomorrow and make that right back, because we rarely lose. That's something that you guys can use too. I mean, you guys don't have to, but if you guys want to trade exactly how I do and how I'm able to stay consistent with my profits every day, every week, every month, Once I have one loss, I just call it a day. I go out and I do something. I go walk my dog, go to the gym, go do whatever I need to do to get my mind off trading. And that's something that I just developed over the years too. Because I used to overtrade as well, like a lot of you guys here. Yeah, Paul said took a bad L at open, however managed to severely mitigate the loss from negative 3,000 to 300, and will happily accept that. Yeah, definitely, Paul. You know, anything like that where you can mitigate your losses is going to make it better for the next day. 13 said like a lot of you guys here. Yeah, no, exactly. No, like that, it's myself too. Like even myself, sometimes I do trade during Asia. Like I'm not gonna say that I never trade during Asia, but you guys will see me sometimes where I'll be like, I'll have like a small profit, right? I just lock in a small Asia profit. But for the most part, even myself, like I make the same mistake too sometimes where I trade during Asia and I end up not blowing my account, but I end up blowing a trade that I could have just avoided if I just didn't trade during Asia session. So no, everyone has the same issues, 13. It's not just you. Everyone has the same issues where they make the same mistakes or they overtrade. I mean, there's a lot of things, you know, there's a lot of stuff here that'll affect your trading account. I mean, you know, it just depends if you overtrade, if you over leverage, if you revenge trade. Revenge trading is like one of the biggest things for a lot of you guys here. If you guys have a loss, you guys keep stacking on losses on top of that. For me personally, that's why when I have one loss, I just take a break, because if you revenge trade, you can lose a lot more than you anticipated off that one trade. Looking over here, let's see. Astrid said, when you're doing FTMO challenge, do they require a specific amount of trading per day? Like you have to do 5 trades a day? No, Astrid. Or no, for the challenge, you just have to make sure that you're within the risk parameters. So you have to take one trade for at least 10 days out of the month just for the challenge. And then you also have to reach the profit goals, but there's no requirement that you have to take certain trades or make a certain amount of profit per day. Your challenge lasts for an entire month. So it's not a per day thing. Let me scroll down real quick. Gallo said, so you've been trading for how long? 11 years. What made you say I'm done with the attorney life? I mean, if you compare my life now to my attorney life, I mean, you do the same thing, Gallo. When I was working as an attorney, I was working like 10, 12-hour days because I was working at a big firm. So I only work like an hour and a half now. I only trade with you guys from 6:30 to 8, and I do whatever I want for the rest of the day. So, you know, one of the main things was that, you know, working as an attorney is very stressful. It's super stressful, especially if you're working at a big firm. You know, and I felt like I was aging, like I was basically like losing life by working there. So once I got really good at trading and I started making enough profit trading one day to cover like my entire attorney salary for the month, I was like, I might as well just do this for, you know, a living. And now I make like a substantial more amount than I did as an attorney with like an hour a day. So, you know, if you just do you just weigh the pros and cons, you'll definitely see what I mean by that. You know, working in 1 hour compared to working like 12 hours a day, it makes a huge difference with your decision to, you know, be a trader or to be an attorney. So yeah, for the most part, that was the main goal. It was more so work-life balance. There was no work-life balance at my firm because I was working at a corporate firm. Let's see, Essa said, yeah, what annoys me is if I didn't really trade, even though I didn't need to, I would have kept my profit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that happens with me too sometimes. It's like you make a lot of profit in the morning, then you take a trade in the afternoon and you lose it all. And you're like, if you just avoided that afternoon trade, you would have kept the profit. It happens to me all the time. Razul is asking, Shawn, which K2 member passed FTMOs in a day? It's Neandro right here in the YouTube chat. If you go over here to the public chat, he's right here, Nico Sanders. This is who passed FTMO with one trade or with one day. Albert over here said his profits made about $7 on his first account. His other account, he made 209. Nice work, Albert. Sisuk over here locked in 3,600 for the day. Nice work, Sisuk. And Manfredi over here locked in a total of 1,200 for the day. Great work. Here as well, let's see. Joshua too. So Joshua said done for the day, bro. We'll see you tomorrow in the AM. Before I leave for Europe. Oh, nice. Yeah, safe travels, Josh. I'll catch you here in the morning before you head out. See what else I missed over here, if there's anything else. As I said, but all day I was bored, so I just entered the trade to make my day exciting. And I did really make it exciting. No, exactly, guys. Sometimes, so another thing that I always have to remind you guys, if you guys get bored, I would just back test or paper trade. Don't trade your real account if you just because you're bored, right? If you feel like there's a good trade available, then yeah, it's trade your real account. But if you're just bored and you just want to play around, just back test or use a demo account just to play around. Because I would that's one thing that I used to do too. As I would always take, if I saw something that looked like an okay trade, but it wasn't really a good trade, I would just take it and I would lose and I would get mad at myself because I could have just avoided that if I did something differently. Nice. Eunice said, Eunice is taking 160K challenge. I think that's 200K for euros. So Eunice is up 4,199. Nice work, Eunice. Congrats. You guys are killing it. Looking over here at the profits for the day. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat and then I can take a look. Otherwise, I'll go over here and I'll take a look at everyone's profits for the day. And if we don't have any questions, we'll just call it a day because there's a lot of news this morning. So looking over here, here's the timestamp where it says today. I'll scroll up to the very top. All right, so we'll start off with Justin over here. Justin Bugai locked in a total of 484. Nice work, Justin. Steven locked in 1,408. Deswell locked in a total of 5,001. Rick locked in a total of 1,016. Tommy locked in a total of 3,584. Patricia locked in 4,209. Joshua locked in 28,000. Big profit there. Michael locked in a total of 809. Mark locked in a total of 58. Kyle locked in a total of 1,613. Razul locked in a total of 561. Salorum locked in a total of 727. Gene Vaughn locked in a total of 990. Roman locked in a total of 2,183. Patrick locked in 1,849. Melinda locked in 1,907. EW locked in 6,303. Brittany locked in 642. Deswell again locked in a total of 9,276 or 75. Kyle locked in a little more profit, 3,878. Joshua locked in 232. His other account, he locked in 764. Albert locked in $7.46. And his other account, he locked in 209. Nice work, Albert. Sisuk locked in 3,600. Manfredi locked in a total of 1,200. And lastly, Eunice locked in a total of 4,199. Again, over here, we have Casey with a total of 819 for the day. Nice work, Casey. All right, so I think that's it for now. I don't see any other profits here. If you guys want to send your profits in, go ahead and send them in. If you guys have any questions, put your questions in the chat. I'll answer the rest of the questions now before we log off. But looking at current price right here, you can see that price is really respecting this New York low from last week, right, from Friday. Because these are the session lows from the previous day. You can see that price is respecting it perfectly. It bounced off here for a double bottom. If we get a buy signal, you probably expect it to bounce up from there for a straight reversal. So let's see. The market sentiment right now is still pretty low. It's 71%. So what we could do here is I can draw liquidity zones. So what I'll do over here is I'll draw some liquidity zones so that you guys can identify when price is going to, oops, wrong tool, where price is likely to hit some liquidity and bounce up even higher. So like we got one right over here. We got another one right over here. We got another one right over there. And then lastly, right over here. All right, so looking at this right here, if price ends up breaking and closing past this area right here, we can probably expect a spike to the upside, right? The reason for that is because whoever is entering a sell from right here, because, just looking at this from this perspective, if you see price coming down like this, and you're a brand new retail trader, right? You just got into trading, you're like, oh, everyone trades with the trend, right? So what do you see right here? It's in a downtrend, right? So put yourself in that person's perspective. If you're a brand new trader, you don't know anything about trading. All you know is about trend, right? You're like, oh, price is going down. It's going to have to keep dropping down. What happens when someone enters their short position right here? Where do they put their stop loss? Right over here, outside of the the trend, right? Because if the trend breaks above here, they're going to put their stop loss right here. So when price reaches that point, what do you think is going to happen when price pushes up and passes through here? It's going to spike up because it's going to trigger everyone's stop loss, and then it's going to push up even higher. And then what happens when price reaches this point again right here? Same situation, spikes up even higher. What happens when price reaches this area right here? Same situation, right? Another spike up higher. So just keep that in mind, guys. When you guys are looking at these trades here, because things aren't always going to look that simple, right? It's not going to be an easy cookie cutter. Oh, if you see this, then this is going to happen. Generally, you're going to see a lot of fake outs. Like this is probably just going to go sideways for a bit. And then if it doesn't end up spiking from here, it'll probably keep dropping lower. And then as it drops lower, it'll create another high. Then it'll create another liquidity zone like this. All of these areas that I drew right here, these are all liquidity areas that are swing highs. So you can see price started from here. It swung down, swung back up. Another swing high right there. Swung down, swung back up. Another high right there. Swung down, swung back up. Another high right there. So generally, the reason why I put this here is because where do people usually put their stop losses? If they enter a sell right here, they put it the swing high, right? Which is right here. Sometimes price will get close to this area and they'll be like, oh, I'm going to push it back a little higher because it's getting too close. They push it to the next swing high, right? Which would be right here. If it gets close to this area, they're like, oh, it's getting a little close. I'm going to push it up even higher. They put it over here. They put it over here, right? You guys have to see where it's like playing chess. You have to figure out what the other person is doing. And by the other person, that's a retail trader. You don't want to trade with the retail trader. You want to do the opposite of them. You want to trade like you're the institution or the market maker, because they usually do the opposite of what the retail traders are doing. You know, I've been trading for a long time now, so I've been able to spot these patterns just by looking at the chart. And you can see right here, as price pushes up, look what's going to happen here. Check this out. It's going to do exactly what I just said. If price ends up closing above there or pushing pretty high, it's just going to spike up even higher. You're going to see like a spike up, like a big wick around this area right here. You can see price hasn't broken above it yet. There you go, broke above it. And you might see a wick right here. See that big spike? It's doing exactly what I just explained to you guys. It triggered their stop losses. Now it's pushing up higher and higher. See that big candle right there. And you know, it's accurate. I've been doing this for a long time, so I know exactly what to look out for. I've been trading US 30 every morning for like the past 2-3 years. So I know exactly how it moves. I probably could have made money off this, but I'm here explaining to you guys, so I don't want to go and take the risk of me entering this trade and then talking to you guys and then missing my exit because I'm explaining this to you guys here. So this, there you go. It did exactly what I just told you guys. I said when it breaks this point right here, it's going to spike up. You're probably going to see a big wick here, or if you don't see that big wick, it's going to keep pushing up higher. There you go. Exactly what I anticipated to happen happened. That big candle right there. I probably should have taken this trade. It's all good though. And this is why it's like, this is why a lot of people tell me that I should probably just focus on trading and not really get on these live sessions. But, you know, I like to teach you guys here what I'm doing, because I've been doing this for a long time. And, you know, I have a lot of knowledge here to pass on to you guys. So, yeah, there you go. If you guys caught that trade right there, that's a nice 100 pips right there. If you guys caught this as it spiked up, easy 100 pips, 200 pips right there. All right, let me check real quick and see what else I missed. Asdri is asking, what is the amount they have a month in order to pass a 100K and 25,000 challenge? You can check on the website, Asdri. I mean, if you just go to ftmo.com, everything's broken down there. It's a different amount. It's 10%. So that's what you have to do. But, you know, 10% of each account size is different. So if you're doing 100K, it's going to be 10,000. There's your profit target, 10,000 for the challenge, 5,000 for the verification. If you're doing the 25, or no, you're doing the 10,000. Okay, so 10,000, you'll need to make 1,000. So 10,000, you make 10% of that, which is 1,000. On the verification, you only have to make 500, which is very easy. It's super simple to reach that. Same with the 25,000 over here. You make 2,500 and then 1,250. It doesn't really make a difference what account size you do, because your lot size is going to change. You're basically taking the same trades. You're just increasing your lot size, but you're making about the same percentage amount depending on, you know, which account type you do. So it doesn't matter if you do a 10K account, if you do a 100K account, you're still going to be using the same trades. you're just going to increase your lot size. You know, if you're doing a 10K, you're probably going to use like a 1 lot. You're doing 10K, you're going to use a 5 lot or whatever. I mean, it just depends on like which one you plan on doing, but it's not going to make a difference. Your trading is not going to change whether you're doing a 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, 200,000. The only thing that changes is your lot size. And yeah, I mean, that's all you have to make 10%, which is not that difficult. If you make like 3 to 5% a day, you can pass very easily. Here, let's see. One more question from SS is asking, how can I help myself with trade psychology part of myself? You know, I would recommend SS probably just use a TP stop loss, and then letting your trade run to TP or stop loss. That'd be the first step. The other step that you can do is, if you're too scared with your trades, take a smaller lot size, and then gradually increase your lot size as you become more confident. There's a lot of different things you can do, but you got to figure out like what's your problem. Is your problem over trading? Is your problem not letting your trade run to full TP? I mean, you know, trade psychology, there's different things that can be affecting you. So what I'd recommend is like just sit down and think about what's your problem. Like what's your problem with trade psychology? Is it over trading? Is it over leveraging? Is it not letting your trades run to full TP? Is it, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be your problem. Yeah, exactly. So Esther just said, I never wait for the trade to let it hit full TP. So if that's your problem, you should just set a TP and stop loss. Just take the trade, set a TP stop loss, and then walk away. Come back and then see if you hit TP or stop loss. And then as you continue to hit your TPs, your confidence will increase, and then you'll get better with your trade psychology because you'll trust the trade. So that's probably the first step for you. Eunice said, I'm done for the day. See you tomorrow, Shawn. Definitely, Eunice. So I'll see you tomorrow. So guys, I think that's it for the questions here. If you guys have any other questions, put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm probably going to call it a day. It's already 7:41. I didn't take any trades myself. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here lock in some pretty massive profits. Faz over here locked in a total of 941. Nice work, Faz. Yeah, great work, guys. You guys killed it. Junior over here too. So Junior locked in a total, or Junior looks like he took an L for rushing in, but making up for it. It's all good. So he took a bad trade up there. He looks like he like just rushed into a trade. Looks like it was that breakout that we were looking at this morning. Reason why we didn't take that breakout because it was at the London high, but he's making it all back right here. He made about 2,000, then 500, and 200. So he's almost back into profit. You know, it's just going to be a matter of time. He just needs to keep locking in some more. So other than that, guys, I think that's it. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can like the stream, that'll definitely help us find more people who need help with trading. You know, I'm here to help you guys out. Like I mentioned, I'm here to basically pass on my knowledge to you guys and make sure that you guys are on the list of profits like everyone else over here. So if you guys have more profits to send over, go ahead and send them over. I'll post them up a little later. But other than that, I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and email me or message me. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys back here for tomorrow's live session for another live trading. So see you.